We are live. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, LinkedIn and YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. If you are catching this live, there is a delay, but let me know in the chat where you're calling in from today. I am in Long Beach, California, and I'm cold. The sun is out, and I should go on a walk when we are done here, but my hands are cold. Somebody come warm me up. Okay, today we're going to talk about crushing your next goal with this one strategy. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to share the number one thing that you can do right now to get things done right now. Like, who wants to get something done right now? Not end of quarter, end of month, end of year, like right now. My name is Kristen Gutierrez, and I am a best-selling author. I am a keynote speaker, and I help people move the needle in their life and in their business. And sometimes that looks like coaching entrepreneurs and leaders. And sometimes that looks like helping businesses get the dang thing done. So my call to action for you is I'm looking for 3 more business clients I can service in April, May, and June. So in Q2. And that's going to look like coming in to do workshops like hello NFL. Woo, woo. They're bringing me in middle of May. And it's going to look like workshops, or it's going to look like consulting at the leadership level. And we can talk about what's best for you and your business, but reach out, send me a direct message, get in touch, hello@beabettersalesleader.com, or schedule a call and let's do it. Okay, who's ready to go? Say go in the chat. Because here's the thing. In order to inspire you to take action, is it okay if I share a little story? Who knows about physics, right? The law of motion. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. There are so many laws of the universe. Yeah. Write in the comments some laws of the universe. We've got the law of polarity. We have, the law of reciprocity, right? The law of motion, as I said. So there are these laws of the universe. And do you know about the law of advancement? Say yes, I know the law of advancement. This one is new to me because man, oh man, do I feel like the Kristen of today missed out on physics in college. Like, I am geeking out the last couple months, 6 months, 12 months, on tons of things in physics. And so here is the law of advancement, whether you know it or you don't know it, like I didn't know it. In other words, it says in nature, things must go down to go up. Or in other words, before anything can go up, it must go down. Okay, let's think about that for a second. A tree. Have you planted a tree? We've got like avocado trees here that we planted 4 or 5 years ago, a vegetable garden. Does that tree say like, hey, earth, world, nature, Kristen, I want to be a tree. Like, make me a tree, make me a tree. But before that seed can grow into a big, strong tree, what does it have to do? What does it have to do? What has to happen to the seed before it can become a tree? Yeah, it needs to go down into the earth. It needs to be planted so that it can grow into this big, strong tree. I mean, the same is for like a slingshot. You have to pull it back so that it can go forward. Or think about an airplane, right? Like the airplane's wings are out and it taxis to the runway, and then it like roots itself down, and right, like the pilot has to make the acceleration happen. And obviously the same are with birds. Okay, so now imagine this tree that has grown on the edge of a mountain, and there are baby eagles there. And the mom says, hey, this looks like a good place to build a nest up on top of this really strong tree at the edge of this mountain. So the baby eagle makes a nest on the edge of the mountain, and soon enough, the eggs hatch, and here come the baby eagles. But there's like two ways to describe this. And I just heard this fascinating story from a guy who does like wildlife photography for a living. And certain birds, like falcons and eagles, and something called a white-tailed kite. Gotta look that thing up, you guys. This is fascinating. A white-tailed kite. The adults catch these big rodents or animals or like whatever that they are going to feed their babies. Okay. And then they grab it in their talons and they fly out into the air off of the edge of the cliff, and they hang it there. And then if the birds want to eat, and trust you me, they want to eat, there's no other way for them to eat but then to jump. Okay. And so for this bird to figure out how to sustain life and to stay, like, get his food, he's got to jump down, because this is what happens. The birds fall. Like, did you know that scuba divers, in order to, who here scuba dives, right? So in order to control the altitude, they use their breathing to control the altitude when they're scuba diving. So just like, using the forces of nature, these baby white-tailed kites or any bird, they use the air catches in their wings so that they can fly against it. Yes. And so here is the parent, the mom or dad bird, hanging out off the edge of this mountain cliff, and the baby who wants to eat falls and then catches itself. And rumor has it, you can hear the little bird screeching with like joy and excitement, like true human nature, when they catch the food, as they do. And then not only like eats it while flying, but like learns how to go down in order to come up. Isn't that fascinating? And so to tie it in together, in order for you to become everything that you can become, in order for you to get the thing done on your to-do list, you must be willing to stop being what you have been so that you can become what you want to become. Even as like humans, we have a choice. The thing is, like, we have a choice. So what makes it more difficult for humans, like the birds don't have a choice. My 5-year-old has a choice. He can just sit there and protest eating all day, and mom has like dropped off the food at the table, but he can just refuse to eat. Like, come on, who else has a 5-year-old, right? So mom eventually is going to like feed him, put food in his mouth, like encourage him, like motivate him. Like, now I'm going to take away the iPad type thing, because humans have a choice. But in nature, these birds and other animals and all of the and like trees, if like the seed is like, I want to be a tree, they don't have a choice. They have to go down in order to come back up. So think about that as it relates to like, are you willing to get out of your own way? Are you willing to do something that's a little uncomfortable, i.e. falling, in order to get that one thing done? You should be saying yes in this chat. Because if you want your income to grow, if you want your revenue to go up, if you want to increase your business, you are kidding yourself. If you're serious about advancing, don't wait. Make that decision now. If you've got it, say yes in the chat. And so let me leave you with the one thing that you can do. I'm looking at, what's the title? You got to say, oh no, crush your next goal with this one strategy. So let me leave you with that one strategy. Are you ready? The number one thing is to take a baby step. Do one thing. Remember, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. So do one thing today in order to make the noise. Maybe it's writing down the thing that you need to do. I would call, if I could be a little bit honest, if I could coach you from behind the screen, I would say you have to do more than that. You have to actually send the email that you've been putting off. Reach out to the podcast host because you want to be on more podcasts. Outline the book or make the book website if you're trying to write a book so that you can start advertising the book alongside writing it. I can meet with you all day long and give you ideas until we're both blue in the face. You have to say, I am willing to fall like these white-tailed kite birds. I am willing to fall like the seed who wants to become a tree. And I'm willing to hear this really sound, strategic, like ninja level advice and do one thing today that's going to break you free. Because I'll leave you with this. One would argue it's like, yes, we want $1 million. I want $1 million, Kristen. Give me $1 million more for my business. Give me $1 million as an entrepreneur. But the thing our brain really wants to see is motion. Our brain is addicted to Newton's first law, which is an object in motion tends to stay in motion. So the more you can create this momentum, the more you can say, if I fall like the bird, if I jump off this mountaintop, I will catch myself and fly. I love it. I love it. So that is what I have for you today. Take one action. And if you are so bold, write down the number one thing below this video that you are going to do this week and the number one thing holding you back. The number one thing you're going to do this week as a result of being inspired by the white-tailed kite birds and the eagles and the falcons and the trees and nature and the law of advancement. Write down one thing you're going to do this week and one thing that is holding you back. And then join us in the VIP session for Say Yes and Figure It Out, April 27th. You do not want to miss the VIP experience. We have so many people registered. It is going to be amazing. The link is in the comments. Register to attend and don't miss out on this incredible day of really intelligent speakers sharing tons of knowledge and giving you the exact blueprint to crush your goals, no matter how big or how small.